My dear friend, if you woke up this morning feeling a bit tired even though you slept enough, if your vision has become a little blurry lately, if you find yourself urinating more often, feeling constantly thirsty without a clear reason, then maybe your body is sending a message, a whisper, a gentle warning about something called type 2 diabetes. You know, many people our age, yours and mine, have heard of that term, but sometimes we just nod and brush it off thinking, maybe my sugar is a little high, but it's nothing serious. And so we carry on living until one day it quietly causes consequences we never expected. One of my patients, Mr. Henry, 72, once came in complaining of numbness in his legs and a small wound that hadn't healed for weeks. He said, "I didn't really feel much pain before this, William. I just thought it was part of getting older." But his test results showed his blood sugar had been high for many years. He didn't know because the body never screamed, not until the complications were already knocking at the door. So what exactly is type 2 diabetes? Why has it become so common, especially after age 50? And more importantly, how can we understand it and control it before it's too late? I invite you to sit with me for a moment. Let's share a quiet cup of tea and listen. Not to be afraid, unwisdom, but to better understand this body of ours, the silent companion that has journeyed with us for decades. Let me help you imagine this. When we eat, our food is digested and turned into sugar or glucose, which enters the bloodstream. Now, glucose isn't a bad thing. On the contrary, it's the main fuel our cells use to create energy. But in order to use glucose, cells need a key to unlock their doors. And that key is insulin, a hormone made by the pancreas. When we're young, this system works beautifully. But over time, for many reasons, aging, diet, lack of movement, genetics, the body starts to resist insulin. It doesn't open the doors easily anymore. You can picture it like this. Insulin still knocks. It's still trying to unlock the door. But now the door is rusty, harder to open. That's what we in medicine call insulin resistance. When this happens, glucose doesn't enter the cells. It stays in the blood, leading to chronically high blood sugar. And when that continues day after day, year after year, we step into the world of type 2 diabetes, a world that seems calm on the surface but hides many silent storms underneath. You see, type 2 diabetes doesn't come rushing in. It doesn't knock loudly like a cold or a heart attack. It arrives like smoke, invisible yet spreading quietly. One thing that always troubles me is this. Many of my patients only find out when complications have already begun. And by then, treatment is no longer simple. So if you're in your 50s, 60s today, if your doctor has ever said your blood sugar is a little high, don't ignore it. That might be your body's early warning, and it's a gift. In the next part, I'll share with you the silent signs your body may be sending and how to recognize them, protect yourself and those you love. Because I believe understanding type 2 diabetes is the first step toward mastering your life after 60. Please stay with me. Have you ever felt like your body has been changing in strange ways lately? Nothing obvious, nothing extreme, just quietly shifting like the morning mist. You get tired more easily. You sleep enough but still feel sluggish. You feel thirsty more often even when it's not hot. Or you start waking up at night to urinate, disturbing your sleep. If you notice these things, pause for a moment. Listen to your body. Because sometimes it's not just age. It might be the soft whisper of type 2 diabetes. I remember one afternoon a few months ago, a patient of mine, Mrs. Marie, 68, came into my clinic. She said, "William, I've been having a slight pain in my feet, some tingling like pins and needles, but it's probably just aging, right?" I looked at her and gently asked, "Have you been feeling thirstier than usual?" She nodded. "Lately, I carry a water bottle with me all the time. My mouth's been so dry." Then she added, "Oh, and I've been getting up a few times at night to pee too." We ran some tests. And just as I suspected, her blood sugar was high in the range of type 2 diabetes. Marie hadn't felt chest pain, no dizziness, no fever. Just a few subtle changes that for 2 years she assumed were simply the norms of aging. You see, type 2 diabetes doesn't ring alarm bells. It doesn't strike you down suddenly. It chooses the quietest, most invisible route. That's why so many people over 50 don't even know they have it. In fact, statistics in the US show that 1 in 5 older adults may be living with undiagnosed type 2 diabetes. So, what are those silent symptoms? Do you feel hungry all the time, even shortly after eating? That's because your cells aren't absorbing glucose and your body thinks you need more fuel. Have you noticed small cuts or scrapes healing more slowly than before? High blood sugar damages tiny blood vessels, slowing healing, which can be dangerous in older adults as slow healing wounds may lead to infection. Are your eyes getting blurrier, making it harder to read the newspaper? That's because fluctuating blood sugar can affect pressure in the eyes, causing temporary vision changes. Left unchecked, it can lead to diabetic retinopathy, a leading cause of blindness after 60. And here's one sign very few people notice: numbness or tingling in the fingers or toes. Sometimes it feels like ants crawling. Sometimes your feet don't feel like they belong to you. That's an early sign of peripheral nerve damage, a common complication of diabetes. All of these, if they happen just once, might not be serious. But if they persist, if you feel something is not quite right, trust that feeling. I always tell my patients, your body is your most loyal friend. It never lies. But sometimes we're just too busy to listen. Dear friend, I don't share all this to make you afraid. I share it so you'll understand type 2 diabetes is not a life sentence. It's a signal. And if you recognize it early, truly early, you can take control of it, protect your health, and continue enjoying your golden years fully and gracefully. I've seen so many patients go from worry to empowerment, from fear to wellness, simply because they started with one action: listening to their bodies. If today you recognized yourself in some of these symptoms, please see your doctor. Get your blood sugar checked. There's no shame in it, no fear needed, because sometimes one small step can keep you from a long, difficult road of complications. Take care of yourself, because turning 60, 70 isn't about getting old. It's about living more deeply, more mindfully, and being grateful for every healthy day we're given. You know, there's something that always weighs on my heart whenever I talk about type 2 diabetes. It's not just about high blood sugar. It's not the numbers on a lab report. It's what it silently destroys inside us little by little, without warning, without noise. But the consequences are very real. I want you to imagine your body as a city, with roads big and small carrying blood to nourish every organ: your heart, your eyes, your kidneys, your nerves. When blood sugar stays too high for too long, it's like thick, dirty oil clogging up an engine. It slows down traffic, damages the system. That's how type 2 diabetes creates complications. And sadly, many people only find out they have diabetes after the complications have already started. One morning, Mr. Walter, 73 years old, came to see me. He was usually cheerful, but that day he looked a little down. "My vision's gotten so blurry, Doc," he said. "I can't read the newspaper anymore, even with new glasses." We checked his eyes and discovered early signs of diabetic retinopathy. That's one of the most common complications caused by damage to the small blood vessels in the eyes. If left unchecked, it can lead to blindness. For people with diabetes, the risk of heart disease is 2 to 3 times higher than average, because high blood sugar doesn't just damage blood vessels, it fuels chronic inflammation, encourages fat to stick to artery walls, and from there, heart attacks and strokes can happen. Have you ever felt a tightness in your chest when climbing stairs? It might not just be aging. It might be your heart struggling because the arteries are no longer clean and flexible like before. And then there's the complication that pains me most: nerve damage and diabetic foot. It often starts subtly, a tingling sensation like ants crawling on your skin, or the feeling of wearing thick socks. Gradually, you lose the ability to feel hot and cold, pain and pressure. You might not even notice a sharp object in your shoe until it becomes an infection, and sometimes it leads to the loss of a toe or even a foot. I've had to witness that too many times, and every time I ask myself, if only they had come earlier, if only they had known. I don't share these stories to scare you, but to remind you that you still have power. Because complications don't arrive overnight. They take years, slowly building, quietly causing damage. And if you start today, you can stop it. I have another patient, Linda, 66 years old. When she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, she was overwhelmed. But then she began making small changes: walking every morning, cooking at home, cutting back on sugar and white starches, sleeping earlier, taking her medication on time. And after 1 year, her blood sugar dropped significantly, her risk of complications fully under control. You see, sometimes one small daily change can protect you from something much bigger down the road. If you're living with type 2 diabetes, please remember, you are not alone and you are not helpless. Yes, complications may come, but with understanding, proper care, and early action, you can protect your health, your vision, your heart, your feet, and the quality of life you truly deserve after 60 or 70. We cannot turn back time, but we can change the course ahead. And I believe you are strong enough to do it. My dear friend, When we talk about chronic illnesses like type 2 diabetes, many people assume, I'll probably be on medication for life. Or worse, there's no cure anyway, so why try? But you know what? In over 30 years of practicing medicine, I've seen that the most powerful healing doesn't come from medication. It comes from the will to live well and from simple everyday choices. Take Margaret, 65, for example, a woman I'll always remember. When she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, she felt discouraged. She used to eat pastries and sugary coffee for breakfast. She barely moved, slept poorly, felt constant stress caring for her sick husband. But she didn't dwell on the negative. She chose to start again one step at a time. She switched to oatmeal with fresh fruit in the mornings, added a bowl of steamed vegetables to lunch, started walking slowly in her backyard just 10 minutes a day. After 3 months, her blood sugar stabilized. After 6 months, her doctor reduced her medication. But more importantly, she felt better, happier, stronger. Many people ask me, Doctor, is it possible to manage diabetes without relying on too much medication? And my answer is yes, but it takes patience and consistency, not a miracle, but a chain of right choices repeated every day. There are 3 natural foundations for managing type 2 diabetes effectively. First is your diet. You don't have to starve or eat boring food, just eat real balanced and right. Fill your plate with vegetables, beans, seeds, whole grains. Limit refined sugars, white flour, and processed foods. Focus on high-fiber foods. They slow sugar absorption into the bloodstream. And drink enough water. Dehydration can spike blood sugar. Second is physical activity. You don't have to run marathons. Just walk 20-30 minutes a day. A stroll with your dog, a trip to the market watering plants. These are all gentle ways to get your blood flowing and improve insulin sensitivity. I always tell my patients, movement is a love letter to your body. Each step says I'm not giving up. Third and often forgotten is rest and emotional well-being. When you sleep poorly, your stress hormones, especially cortisol, go up. And cortisol silently pushes your blood sugar higher. Try to sleep 7-8 hours each night and learn to breathe slowly, relax, and let go of what you can't control. I often guide older patients through 5 minutes of gentle meditation in the morning. Just close your eyes. Focus on your breath. And may result. Many tell me I feel calmer and my sugar levels look better too. You see, you don't need to do anything huge. You don't need to change the whole world. Just return to yourself and care for your body with the simplest acts of love. A colorful plate of food, a deep night's sleep, a short walk, a warm smile from your grandchild. All of these, though small, are the most powerful medicine for managing type 2 diabetes. Being 60-70 is not about enduring disease. It's a time to make peace with your body, heal old habits, and live with mindfulness. Type 2 diabetes is not the end. It can be the beginning of a new lifestyle filled with meaning, lightness, and health. You can do it starting today. Dear friend, if you followed me this far, I believe something inside your heart has quietly shifted. Maybe it's a long-held worry. Maybe it's a question you haven't dared ask, or maybe it's a small spark of courage beginning to return. You are walking this path alongside hundreds of others your age. You are not too late, even if you were diagnosed yesterday or have lived with diabetes for years. You still have time to turn things around, not to become 30 again, but to live fully in your 60s, 70s with awareness, strength, and peace. I've met people who were ready to give up, and yet they rose for the love they held for themselves and their family. I remember Mrs. Rosa, 70 years old, living alone after her husband passed away. She once told me, William, I don't live for anyone else anymore. I live for me. And I don't want to go blind from diabetes complications. I want to see the sunset. I want to see my youngest grandchild's face every morning. And she did it, not through magic pills, but through persistence in every meal, every night of sleep, every slow walk around the neighborhood. You see, caring for your health after 60 isn't about fighting disease. It's about listening to and walking with your body like an old friend that stood by you for years. Type 2 diabetes is not a period at the end of the sentence. It might just be a gentle reminder to slow down, go deeper, and cherish every moment we still have. If you are 60, 65, or 70, if you're feeling tired, anxious, or uncertain because of diabetes, I want you to hold on to this. You are not alone. You are strong, and you deserve to live well with lightness, hope, and health. I'm here to remind you of that. And if this video has given you a little inspiration, a flicker of hope, or a small resolve, then that's the reason I sit here every day, to walk this journey with you. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone you love, because maybe you are the one who brings someone else hope today.